excellent players going at it in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we expect here? A lot of Stalkers, obviously, the backbone of PvP.
Yes.
I mean, Void Rays have been kind of hot here recently with the new speed increases and the reduction in cost. I've seen a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seems like everything's an option in PvP if you try hard enough these days. It's just
That's true.
you want to go for something, go for it, and then it may work. But anyway, here we are in the top left-hand side of the map. Map 1 being Death Aura. It is Hurricane.
And in the bottom right, it is the red Protoss player, Patience. What's up to Aki in chat? What's up, Copenhagen Nos? To answer your question, best of 5. We got 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 for the winners. Copenhagen DOS is going to predict Hurricane and Zaun win. And then Hurricane wins the whole thing.
Yeah, hello to everyone who's tuning on in. Hope you guys are ready for some good Starcraft.
Doom. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2 great players here. Copenhagen DOS making his predictions here as he does for GSL. And does pretty well with it. He did predict Solar, which I'm not a huge fan of picking Solar in GSL environments, but he totally did, and it did not work out for him, unfortunately. But the rest of his picks are generally pretty solid, so watches a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah, Solar's having a tough run at the minute.
He is, but I mean, he always kind of does in the big, like, offline events, right?
Yeah.
Like, we love Solar. He's awesome here, but has he ever really made it to, like, a semifinal of a GSL or the finals of a DreamHack or something? I don't know that he has.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get him back to an Afrika world where he'll then go on to crush everyone and then get his confidence back.
Yes, that's what we need to do. So both players opening up double Stalker. You do have some options here. You can open up Sentry and Adept or Stalker Sentry or a lot of options there, basically. But never, ever make 2 Zealots. I would recommend against that because you'll die to pretty much whatever your opponent is doing on the other side. But yeah, double Stalker here just going to be good for defense, good for offense. Wouldn't be surprised to see somebody move out across the map with both those Stalkers and see what damage they can get done.
Yeah, I prefer the Stalkers personally when I play because Adepts are too much work.
Yes, it takes a lot of attention for those Adepts to function correctly.
Like if you make a mistake with your Adepts, they just die, whereas your Stalkers, they're a little bit more beefy. So
yeah, exactly.
All right. Looks like we've got a Nexus going up for Hurricane, and Patience following suit, so pretty much identical mirror builds coming out of both these players, and respectful mirror builds.
Yeah, definitely. 100% doing the same thing here. Couple sentries out. Both players are going to have that sentry count, just in case some Adepts do show up. You maybe want to force field them out, or definitely at least want to wall off with a pylon temporarily if that happens. Oh, Disruptors. I forgot about Disruptors. Those are very common in PvP as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of those here today.
Yeah, I think that's probably a given. Disruptors, and then their counterpart, Phoenix, potentially too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sentries, though, starting this game off. 2 for Patience, 3 for Hurricane. Makes me wonder if we're going to see any of that Warp Prism sentry drop in the base shenanigans.
Yeah, could do. That is always nice to prevent the probes from running away from whatever attack you're doing. Yeah, that is one of the sicker plays you can do, is drop in, force field the outside edges of the mineral line, and then Disruptor hit them, because they can't run. That is, if you can pull that off, that is a sick move, but I think it's hard to do.
All right. Blink +1 on the way for Patience, and then Hurricane a little bit behind with his same tech, getting up to Twilight, getting up to Forge.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, he starts Blink as soon as he can, so he's a little bit behind, but shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Patience got this like slight tech lead, because he's also got the Robo up too. I guess it's just the fact that Hurricane went for the 1 extra sentry.
Yeah, that might be it. Bunch of gas there for that sentry. So Blink Stalkers, robotics facility coming in. Immortal production has begun from Patience, and yeah, if your opponent's going a lot of Stalkers, each Immortal is worth its weight in gold in that situation. Just can sit back and just do that bonus damage versus the armored Stalkers over and over again. Makes it really changes the balance of power there. If you have equal Stalkers, but there's one Immortal in there for one of the players, that changes a lot.
Yeah, it really does. And as you said, if your opponent's making Stalkers, Immortals are good. And Patience is the Stalker guy, but he's also going for his own Immortals right now, so.
Yeah, I don't know
a
that
third base, wow.
Yeah, that's a really early third for a PvP, but look, Hurricane's setting up for his own third.
This is so
He's going to, right now, he's going to toss it down. There it is. Wow.
This is a completely different shade of PvP. Like, Protoss meme that you're not allowed to take an expansion in PvP. And we've already got sub 6 minute thirds for both these players. Looks like Hurricane, even though he's going for an expansion 2, is going to be looking to push on out, maybe feeling confident with his unit composition. He's got all these Stalkers, they're going to have Blink, so he'll be able to maybe try and get a pick off here and there. He is just going to back on up, though. Not even going to test the waters.
Yeah. Bit of a feint there. I'm not even sure Patience saw it coming, so I'm not sure that it matters. But Robotics Bay wrapping up now for Hurricane. Probably, I'm going to assume Disruptor production is going to come out of that one.
Yeah. Hurricane, the first player to dive into that. Patience has got his +2 attack on the way. Hurricane's moving out, though. Or Patience is moving out, though, pardon me. He's got a Prism that's going to be joining up with this.
He's more than halfway up the map right now, pushing in. And Immortal count. Let's take a look at that real quick. Got 1 to 2, so not really too much of a difference, but Patience's 2 Immortals would be nice. No. I love the hallucinated War Prism. Oh, the distraction, but it wasn't enough of a distraction, I don't know.
I don't know. I find this so risky, Hurricane, or Patience moving into the main base of Hurricane, when there's Blink out for his opponent. Like, he's got to be so careful with this Warp Prism.
Is he just keep sending in fake... There's just hallucinating units and sending them in.
Just Haluk, non-stop. That's what you can do when you go
in main base. There's the warp.
There we go.
The Immortal drop. Just sniping probes. No bonus versus probes, but hits hard enough, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and then once the Stalker count is high enough and they can jump on you, that's when you need to get out. This is a jump situation.
Look at that. He gets, what, 2 Stalkers and 3 probes, though, for a little bit of micro, a little bit of HP on those Immortals. That was definitely worth it.
I think so, too. That was great. He's got the worker lead, 65 to 63 right now. Army supply even. Both players on these 3 bases, and Disruptor tech seems to be the order of the day for Hurricane. Continue to pump those Disruptors out.
And they both throw up a Dark Shrine, too, at pretty much the exact same time.
Yeah, Disruptors in production for Patience. I mean, this is going to be... Man, we're going to see 2 maxed out Protoss armies today. Not something you see a ton of in PvP.
Mm-hmm. This is truly going to be a test of their skill. Like, there's no real tricks, no dirty wins going to be coming in this match. It's all just going to be about how these guys take their engagements, about when they decide to fight and all that. Because, yeah, they're working with basically the same tools here.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for a difference here, but no.
It's like almost exactly the same, the production tab at this point. Oh, yeah.
They're each getting cannons at the same time, too. It's like they're just following the exact same build order. All the way up through 10 minutes. Copenhagen says the meta is Blink Stalkers, DTs, and Disruptors, which, okay, that's what we're looking at.
That's definitely what we're seeing.
A bunch of Immortals mixed in here, too. Maybe not a bunch, but at least a couple.
Is this what the shield battery changes has done? Just pacified PvP?
Oh, maybe. Maybe it's just not worth it to attack a base anymore because the overcharge is just going to stop you.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
All right,
ooh, DT Blink on the way from Hurricane. Yes.
Because why not?
Because why not? It's a fun upgrade.
Honestly, it's going to be good to see a Protoss on the receiving end of this for a change.
Sound a little bitter. I mean, I've seen it used to great effect versus Terran especially.
Yeah, it generally is used mostly against Terran, so seeing it in PvP is a little bit of a change. Patience is moving out offensively with his army. It's not that small, or it's not that big, but then again, it's got Disruptors in it, and it doesn't matter whether there's really 1 or 100 Disruptors, they can still mess your day up.
Yeah, a lot of potential damage in each one of those disruptors if you just miss micro a tiny bit.
Oh, and here we go. Immortals back into the main base of Hurricane.
And they're going to get a couple stalkers. Ooh, that zealot survives somehow.
Oh, wow. This attack could suddenly become a very big threat.
Yeah, look at him taking down pylons. Zealot's getting wiped out. Ooh, the blink, though. That warp prism is going to die.
Yeah, the blink into the main base gonna let this be cleaned up. The Immortals, I think, did get their value worth, and now we're seeing actually disruptors into the fourth.
Takes out a disruptor and 7 probes there. That was nice by Patience. And then he just backs out. Like, it's enough damage for now.
Yeah, Patience seems to be getting more wins in this match so far. Got himself a healthy supply lead. Of course, Hurricane has got a very big bank that he's yet to spend, I guess, just deciding what he's going to really make. And the choice seems to be 7 DTs. Oh my. He's actually just going to do it. It's just going to be 8 DTs running across the map.
There's there's an army in detection there waiting for them, so good luck with that, I guess. Right side engagement, Disruptor catching nothing, but 1 Stalker does pay the ultimate price there. +3 attack coming in for Hurricane. And just as it finishes for Patience, the DTs are down there at the southern side. They poked in and got removed.
Yeah, that didn't go too hot for the DTs.
No. Undefended base with 1 cannon. Yeah, you can pull that off. But not if there's actual army sitting there waiting for you. Oh my goodness. 5 bases?
That's just
what is this
crazy.
Craziness?
Yeah, 5 bases in a PvP. The DT is going to run into a Disruptor. That's not going to go well as we see Hurricane try and throw up his own 5th base. Patience seems to have it cut off, though, so he very well may be able to force a cancel. Instead, he does just decide to go home. Loses a Disruptor to Hurricane blinking on top of his army. Both players are really starting to build up quite the force here. Patience is maxed out. Hurricane's a little bit behind that, but he does, again, still have that huge bank he can spend.
And I haven't seen a good game of Disruptor tennis in some time, it feels like. DT Blink getting started from Patience now, too. This is great. Oh, and as well, why not? Also, Stargate coming in from Hurricane.
Oh, big Disruptor hit from Patience. He even then blinks on top of the counter shot by Hurricane, attacking on in towards the 5th base of Hurricane. And it looks like this is going really, really good for the red Protoss player, picking off more Disruptors. Has Hurricane split up, and he could potentially be sandwiched here, but he's actually just going to bring the rest of his army to join up with this. And Hurricane seems to be on the losing end of these fights.
Yeah, he's just not taking really good engagements right now, unfortunately. 8 probes have gone down from Hurricane.
Patience is just winning on all fronts, it seems. A bit. Disruptor gets a huge connection on Hurricane's army. The 5th base dies, and Patience gets away.
Yeah, Stalkers are running for their lives right now. It's 118 to 65 army supply. Patience is in a position where I think he can just push and kill. Army supply doubling. A huge warping of Zealots might help with that. Zealots, again, good at buffering, good at dealing damage, actually, to Stalkers in this situation.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. And Patience, feeling so ballsy, blinks forward, but right into a Disruptor hit. Trying to work away on the Zealots while this is going on. Oh my gosh, what a crazy match to start things off. Disruptor hits are getting huge connections one after another.
Oh, Disruptor's dying to Disruptors. Patience attacking the 4th base at the same time, or the 3rd base rather, and that's a blink forward. This feels like a victory. There's your GG. Patience.
Holy cow, what a game from Patience. Just destroying. And I just want to point out the resources lost there. It was about 9,000 lost for Patience to about 20,000 lost for Hurricane.
Oh, that is brutal. So, yeah, everything, it was pretty even. I mean, army value was higher for Patience by just about 1,500 resources there, and then a couple engagements went really poorly for Hurricane, and bam, all those resources got lost then. That was amazing. What fantastic Disruptor hits, good blink micro there too. And yeah, it was just a big macro build up into a few engagements that Patience got the upper hand in pretty much every time. Impressive.
We still don't have you on cam, so let me look into that. Is that it? Nope, that is not it. Okay, that's kind of it. Let's get Falcon back, guys. Let's get him back.
Combed my beard for this.
If that's not commitment, I don't know what is. All right, yeah, we'll get everyone on into the lobby. I'll keep working on that problem. The main thing is that we want the Starcraft games to happen. Okay, we'll get Hurricane in here. Okay, kind of got Falcon back.
Kind of.
You're moving around a little bit. Just got to do a bit of adjustments.
Yeah, you can see me on the TV back there now. That's good.
Yeah, it's progress. And there we go. Now we got you. Just like that. Bing, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle. Looks like we'll make sure that both the players are ready, and then we'll get on into the next game.
Oh, there we go. Bit of delay. We made it.
We made it.
Looks like Patience is ready. Hurricane says he's ready. Time to go.
There we go. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in today. I'd just like to remind you all that we do indeed have a matcherino going, linked at the top there as usual in that little blurb. All right.
New map.
New map indeed. And in the top right-hand side of the map, he kind of, he had it given to him there. It's Hurricane.
And in the bottom left, he's Patience. Bit of a desert scape setup here.
I haven't had much of a chance to look at all the new maps. Have you?
No, definitely not. I've played a couple games, but not on this one yet.
Yeah, I played a little bit last night, but I've been drastically not been able to play enough Starcraft. And so,
well, I mean, if you're doing school and work and then
yeah, I guess that's true. But there's got to be room for Starcraft in there somewhere.
it's true. It needs to be a priority of some kind.
It's like, well, all right, what do I got to cut to make this work? Anyway, we do have these two players scouting out on the map with their probes early on. We're going to get to see how a PvP plays out on this new map, and that's always exciting. Will it be such a passive match like the last one? I'm definitely not going to rule out any crazy aggression in PvP, but both those guys seem pretty confident going into the late game there and just macroing up. Since
they really did.
Yeah, since it didn't work out so well for Hurricane, though, I guess that if one of them is going to really change it up, it might be Hurricane.
Makes sense. Key wants to know what the base prize pool is before audience contributions in Matcherino.
The base prize pool is $200 for these events.
Oh, there you go.
The lion's share goes to first place, but everyone walks away with a little bit of something. And any contribution to the Matcherino does just go right to the players to increase that prize pool.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got Adepts this time for Hurricane, and we've got an Adept and a Sentry for Patience.
Sure. I mean, I don't see anybody really moving out at this point. Oh, the Adepts are cruising for Hurricane.
Look at this for Patience, though. He's making 2 more Sentries right away.
Very sentry heavy today.
That's 3 Sentries. I mean, Hurricane's going into 2 behind this. That's kind of crazy. Batteries going up.
I guess it keeps adepts out if you're worried about them getting into your main, but also so does maybe tossing up a pylon, which is just like this.
Yeah.
Right here, he's ready for it.
Adepts, well, sentries can't force field out adepts, right?
Do shades go through force fields?
I'm pretty sure they do.
If I've ever seen anybody try. I'm looking it up.
All right.
I feel like I should know this.
I'm like 90% sure they don't. Otherwise, Protoss would just use force fields.
No, you're right. You can. So units and force fields, but not buildings or other shades.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! The sentry attack on this adept. The adept just accepting her fate and getting executed by 3 sentries. Tickled to death.
She could have fought back there.
Yeah, she could have, like, shot one of the sentries a decent amount, but AI derping out a little bit there.
Almost a Brood War moment. Just in how derpy that unit acted. All right, we're good. So force fielding adepts inside the base is what they're used for.
And then just tossing out constant hallucinated Phoenix, apparently.
Apparently.
You can't hide anything. All right. Lincoln +1 for patience once more. Same goes for Hurricane. We do actually have the 2 adepts for patience make it into Hurricane's base, and they actually get 4 probes. 4, not quite getting the last one.
Still alive, but dead.
I think that was probably worth it for patience, making that trade at this stage of the game. Like, 2 adepts really aren't going to be too significant, I feel, when you're going into Blink Stalkers. Okay.
Yeah, again, very similar. Blink coming up. +1 attack on the way. Robotics facility coming in for both players. Already done for Hurricane, obviously, as we're looking at it there.
And it looks like there's going to be a 3rd for patience. What happened to PvP, guys? What happened to it?
Apparently it turned into the macro matchup.
Yeah, I guess so. Both these guys are just scouting each other out non-stop with the hallucinations. 3rd base on the way for both players. Hurricane once again is the player getting the quicker Robo-Bay. But this is just crazy. Like, they're literally just like, no rush 10.
I don't know why either. I mean, your theory about overcharge is as valid as anything else.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you'd think that that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's the
can't think
maps
of anything
too.
else big that's changed. Yeah, I mean, these have both been pretty big maps, in fairness.
Patience, not to want the game to be too passive, though, is going to go in with his Prism and his Stalkers, is going to be able to grab up a few probe kills. He's got to be careful, though, because once again, Hurricane has got his own Blink Stalkers, so he can potentially just jump right on top of this Prism. We do see Patience get on out with that Prism, but he grabs 3 probes. Not bad.
Yeah, really nice. Just get in, get out. Escaped it very nicely.
Templar Archives up for Patience, so we can make those Archons.
Oh yeah, definitely for Archons. Could be for DTs, technically. Disruptor production there for Hurricane. One after the other after the other. Just not letting up.
And the interesting thing is, Patience hasn't actually gone for any of his own Disruptors yet.
Yeah,
so
just immortals.
maybe putting on the pressure a little bit here towards his opponent. While the Disruptor count's low-ish, trying to take a fight, but there's going to be 3 out already. Patience, though, morphing in two Archons is going to be going for an attack. And he doesn't want to waste any time.
Colossus?
As he's pushing up this ramp, he's going to find one Disruptor that's just rallied out. Pick that off right away. He's got his Archons moving in. They're going to have to try and avoid that Disruptor hit. One connection really weakens one of the Archons. Disruptor does get taken down by the Blink Stalkers.
Just doing the dance here, trying to avoid taking a Disruptor shot to the face is Patience. Hurricane really trying to connect on those. Oh, is he trapped? Patience, why are you going in there, man?
Yeah, he really committed on in here. Whether that's the right call, I'm not sure.
The hallucinated Colossus is hilarious. It's gone now, though.
Okay, Zealot's being warped in for Patience too. The last warping as the Prism gets picked off, but amidst this, he's killed off 22 workers. And so Hurricane's taking big damage, and he's still struggling to clean this up.
Yeah, I thought for sure he'd get crushed in there. He was in a very trapped position, and he just got out. He just was allowed to escape after killing 22 probes. That should not happen. Wow.
Yeah.
So army size is the same, but Patience has a massive income advantage right now.
Yeah, Patience got himself into a very, very good spot economically. He's also got his +3 attack on the way as well, so he's going to keep that upgrade going. That was just tons and tons of damage that got done to Hurricane.
And it's one thing to do that damage and lose your army. It's another thing to do the damage and just basically walk out.
Yeah, and now Patience, he's ready for attack number 2 as he's coming in with a brand new Prism. He's going to be pushing forward. He's got to be very respectful of those Disruptors. But even if he trades out okay, he'll be able to remax and replace his army a lot more effectively than Hurricane.
Oh my gosh, he's doing it again?
He's just going into the natural.
I didn't think this was a good idea the first time, but holy crap, is it working?
Yeah, apparently just go for it, says.
The economy is done.
He just killed off another 20 workers.
And a Nexus.
And he snipes down the Disruptors. I think that's going to be it. I think Hurricane is just done here. As Patience kind of just mopping the floor with him.
Cope, I think you cursed him, man. I think you picked Hurricane to win the whole thing, and he's down 2-0. It's not great. There's nothing in the main base of Hurricane, right? No, I don't see anything up there at all.
No, there's not a lot. GG gets called as Patience takes the 2-0 lead.
It's like, who needs Disruptors in PvP? Not I. I'll do just fine. Thank you for asking.
He just full send, and
it almost feels like Hurricane was surprised by that too. He was like, okay, so Patience is going to kind of move around here, and I'll just kind of, we'll dance, and then he just walked into his natural, and he was like, what? Huh? What do I do? Man. All right.
Patience was pretty much like, hey, check this out.
Reverse sweep time it needs to be.
It's gotta be, yeah.
It's got his back against the wall as much as it can be.
We'll make sure both players are ready, and we'll see. Because, yeah, this is looking really darn good for Patience. Really, really darn good.
Yeah, he's just like absolutely dominant in both games 1 and game 2. Yep, they're both ready. Let's move on into game number 3 here.
Yeah, loading on into this more familiar map, Pillars of Gold.
Yeah, a more familiar map for sure.
All right, he's down 0-2. He's gonna need to reverse sweep to make this happen. It's Hurricane.
On the other side, feeling confident, looking good. It's Patience.
Yeah, pretty new take we're seeing on the PvP matchup as far as the way these players have been playing it out. But yeah, Hurricane just not ending up on the good end of the macro game there, as Patience just went for 3 bases, same as Hurricane, and then he just went for an attack. Just no sweat.
Well, they were pretty even too. It's not like all of a sudden Patience macro was way better. It was just even situation, same economy, same army size, and then just won a bunch of engagements and called it good.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes sometimes. Win a couple engagements and it snowballs.
Patience basically says, pro tip, if you want to win the game, go kill your opponent.
Yes, go kill their army a couple times. Maybe even just once.
Alright, double gateway opening from both players, no real surprise there. Patience could be the player up to some shenanigans this match, though. So it's alright.
Yeah, Patience is like, enough of this macro stuff. I miss the olden days of 3 weeks ago.
These players are just all so confused because they went to bed one night and then they woke up and all of a sudden it's just Macro City for PvP. Looks like a very, very quick Stargate for Patience. Gonna be trying to catch Hurricane off guard.
Yeah, fast Oracle can be real dangerous in situations like these. He is getting Stalkers, which would be good against, Oracles.
I honestly don't think it's a coincidence at all that Patience went for a proxy like this on a map, on one of the older maps. Hurricane's scouting out, looking for this Stargate, though, and if he finds it, that will be huge. Probe, checking out the top left, saying, what you up to, Patience? What you up to?
I don't know how he misses this based on where he is.
Where's
Look at
the
this.
probe going? Oh, no. Oh,
sees it. Found it.
Yes. Good scout there for Hurricane.
10 points. Well, you can't stop now. Let's boost that Oracle, I guess.
Yep, you are committed now, Patience. Okay, the 2 Adepts going to be trying to shade up while this is going on. That's not going to work out. Hurricane is going for a Phoenix naturally when you know there's going to be an Oracle coming your way. He's got the shield battery on the way. If you're Patience, do you even go in with this, or do you just, like, put it back for later? Because obviously this has been scouted. The Phoenix is going to be moving out to kill off this Oracle. Is it just going to suicide for probes? But yeah, it has to recall. Oh, barely escapes.
2 HP. What?
That is one lucky Oracle.
Lucky Oracle. All right. Well, that puts Patience behind, I gotta say. Although looking at it...
Yet he's still got a quicker Nexus and a quicker Twilight Council.
Yeah. How dark magic, man. How's he doing this? This little forward Stargate's getting shut down. That's to be expected.
Look at this. A defensive stasis ward in his mineral line.
What's he worried about?
Maybe an Adept drop or something? I don't know. I guess it's one of the I got an Oracle. Why not? Hurricane does have the quicker Robo this game. Potentially leading into a quicker Robo Bay like the previous matches. Not that that's worked out particularly well for him.
No.
Mortal on the way for Hurricane. Patience just going more into the Blink Stalkers, and he's made quite a few. Up to 8, compared to the 3 of his opponent. Is there a chance that Patience is going to put the pressure on with these Blink Stalkers?
Maybe.
Is he just gonna go for like a third? It's tough to say. He is gonna be moving out with the Stalkers, and he might actually find that Phoenix. No, lucky Phoenix.
Just skips past it. All right, those Stalkers are on a mission. I don't think they're...
Oracle almost gets found. Or almost gets killed.
That Oracle. Living lucky today. I mean, getting scouted was not lucky, but otherwise, pretty lucky. Checking for a third base, doesn't see one. Gonna maybe... I mean, again, it's just the... Overcharge means, even if it's an even situation, you're not getting through this. Oh, what just killed?
Oh, Adepts. There's the stasis sword, though. Oh.
So they got 3 probes and our stasis.
Oh, and he just recalls the rest of his units to be able to pick this off right away. Saves a sentry too, nicely done. Third base is on the way. It's getting up charge. Hurricane looks like he's electing to throw up his own third base. The Oracle was thinking about picking that off, but gets out of dodge, so very good decision there by Patience. Keeping that unit alive.
We shall name him Lucky. Lucky the Oracle.
This could be a bit of a third base fake out by Hurricane, though. Yeah, and it is indeed. He's actually just warping in more stalkers, getting up these gateways, and is going to be looking to put the pressure on his opponent. Patience keeping his Oracle alive has allowed him to see this. The Oracle will go down, but the cat's out of the bag as far as this attack coming his way.
Yeah, I did warn him this is coming.
Both players have +1. The main difference will be that Patience is going to have charge lots that he can potentially warp in, whereas it's going to be Immortals backing the force of Hurricane. And Hurricane's now going to be coming on in. We're going to have to see some force fields probably to zone this out a little bit, and then some Zealot warp-ins as soon as possible for Patience. There we go. Some Zealots warping in. Shield battery is finished up, so it can use the overcharge. We'll see when Patience does decide to use that.
Yeah,
Not
it doesn't
yet,
quite...
though.
But Hurricane gonna take down that Robo before the Immortal pops out.
Yeah, that's a big deal, and the charge lock count isn't that high yet. Stalker's getting into the natural base. Probes are pulled into the fight, but Patience is going to take this as his opportunity to engage the main army. He blinks right on top of the force of Hurricane, but he simply doesn't have enough, it looks like. And I think Hurricane is actually going to take this one.
Yeah, he certainly is. That's your GG. 52-10 army supply. Hurricane back to the wall, gets a win. Still needs to win a couple more to continue on, but you know what? He's capable, as he showed in that game. That was really nice. The fake out third was beautifully done. Really well executed there. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a ZVP thing where Zerg is making a whole ton of drones and then just makes too many drones to hold off the incoming Protoss attack. But in this case, it was a PvP where just too many probes, not enough army to defend against the attack from Hurricane, and just got crushed.
Yeah, I think if they play that fight, that was, I think, closer than it really looked. Like, Patience, he did identify the attack was coming, maybe a little bit too late. He didn't use his shield battery overcharge for part of that fight. Whether it really would have made much of a difference, I don't know, maybe saved a unit or two in that small fight. But, yeah. Anyway, well done by Hurricane, making that attack happen.
Wave Pusher asks, is this live, LaughNgamez? And the answer is yes.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for stopping by.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, be sure to use the Matcherino code. There's a link up at the top of the chat there. Matcherino code AW63 allows you to throw free 50 cents at the players. No money out of your own pocket. Just a code that allows that to happen. So check it out. Go to the link. Use the code AW53.
All right, in the top left-hand side of the map, he doesn't want to let this one slip away. It's Patience.
And in the bottom right, it is El Hurricane.
El Hurricane. I like it. Did you know that I saw this as a today I learned. That was the first guy to start naming hurricanes was a weather reporter who named them after politicians he didn't like.
That makes sense. Now we just named them after women for some reason.
I don't know where that one came from.
I know. They're like, it's offensive to name them after politicians. Let's name them against random female names. Only female, though, because we don't...
Yeah.
We have to explain that.
How about we get like a Hurricane Greg or Mike or something?
I know, right? 2020, it's time.
All right. Looks like the builds are mirrored. The probe's passing like two ships in the night. Romanticide. This is actually my first glimpse of this map, I believe.
Yeah, I actually played a game on this map. I mainly busted Protoss.
Ah, nice.
The Protoss thought he was safe with one adept in his wall and no other units at all. He was rushing DTs.
Okay.
So the DTs warped in and saved him temporarily, but then I just morphed the Overlord that was already there into an Overseer, and that was it. So,
yeah, that's
rough situation.
that is a rough situation.
Yeah, pretty good map. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. As a Zerg player, like, I don't care how wide the areas are that I need to wall off because I don't wall off.
Uh-huh.
So I don't really care about that stuff. I care about Overlord perch placements, which this one does have an Overlord perch placement. It's very nice. Ta-da, right there. Rush distance is pretty short, which is good to know. Yeah, the enemy probe came in to block my hatch and was just a little bit too late. But based on how short this rush distance looks, I feel like maybe he should have got there, or could have got there in time.
Yeah, I think it all depends what timing you're getting your hatchery, what time they send out the probe.
Yeah.
Because they are pretty good at making sure that they actually like time the distance it takes a worker to travel from like A to B.
Yeah. There are maps where it's really easy to block that natural, and Zerg players just normally take their third base as their second base. They don't even bother.
Yeah, it's a funny meta how sometimes Zergs will be like, oh no, I gotta have this as my natural. Other times it's like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go to my third. Here we have Patience.
Ooh,
doubling down on the cheekiness. And I'm thinking DTs. This is a DT pylon, seeing as how there's already a Twilight Council on the way, if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm. And the other reason taking your third as your second is a big deal is because you're probably taking a third at like 2 minutes anyway, so... Unless you're going for some crazy 2-base attack, it doesn't really matter. And there's your Dark Shrine! Think Shrine incoming!
Yeah, it's been very Twilight-focused openings for the most part this series. Hurricane has gone for a robo or faster than Patience, but whether it's going to be fast enough, that's the question. Or if he can sniff this out, he can always throw up a cannon. It's going to be a little bit concerning, and oh, this hallucination, getting a scout off would be nice. And he does actually see the Twilight.
No further attack and goes, So what's he doing back home?
Because this is always one of those things. You can barely tell by looking at a Twilight Council. I think it's one of the hardest things to tell whether a Twilight's researching, right?
Yep.
Like, I play Protoss and I don't even know the tell. I think it's like slightly quicker flashing. It's not easy to tell though, but if Hurricane was looking at that when he flew over, he might be able to say, hey, there's nothing researching there. You're not actually going for the usual Blink +1. There's Dark Templar on the way, but he hasn't. And now the Dark Shrine's done, and Patience is going to be able to warp in some DTs. The Robo's on the way, but that is a very late Robo. Unless Hurricane spots this and he tosses down a force field on the ramp, he is going to be in big, big trouble.
He's going to have a DT in the natural mineral line and in the main mineral line, and I don't know what he does.
I think this is going to be the end of Hurricane here. I think it's going to be a quick GG once these DTs set to work. And yeah, all 3 DTs in the main. They're going to target down the Robo. And what a disaster. What a disaster. Yep. He's trying to build a cannon, just like, what do I do? What do I do? The answer is you do nothing, you GG. Well done by Patience.
Well done.